Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the start of our Just Another Treehouse series. I always get a certain elation when we get to start on a new build. The idea of taking, well, in this case, a raw, untouched forest and turning it into what I hope to be a pretty massive tree build. I don't know. Just gets me happy on the inside. But anyway, so what we're going to be going for here is a dark oak theme. That means dark oak planks, that means dark oak fence, dark oak leaves, dark oak everything. So let's get started. These three trees here, well, I guess four if we count the birch one in the back, we'll be building our house just kind of on top and inside these trees. So we'll center it on the oak tree, as that already looks relatively centered on the build. Then we'll start outlining our room with planks. Okay, I'm going to briefly interrupt our planking here so that I can remove the birch tree, because, yeah, it doesn't match our build at all, and I don't see that we have a need for it. So back to the outline. We'll finish that up. Then let's go ahead and fill the floor up with leaves and lower down the leaves where required. Obviously, if you're doing this in survival, I'd advise using shears, because you're going to want every last leaf. For the walls of our build, what we're actually going to do is we're going to use a 3-high fence. So, solid thing on the bottom, a gap around the second level, and then a solid ring around the top. And then we'll have certain pillars, we'll put those on the outside corners. Now let's go ahead and divvy off 2 rooms, one to each side. For our roof, we're going to go with a 2-layer thick of leaves. The reason we're going for 2 layers is because that's what we need to block out the rain drip effect that would happen when it's raining. If you're inside this kind of treehouse and you haven't done a too thick thing of leaves for your roof, you just end up with this, I don't know. Even though I'm not actually getting wet, it still feels miserable to see all the rain drips just kind of coming through, and I'm like, yay, it's raining, but slower. So yeah, too thick. Make sure you get it. Now that we have that complete, let's go ahead and hang some lanterns just to get light. Though I should note, lighting up here is actually pretty flexible, because mobs will not spawn on your leaves. And given that you have fencing over the only non-leaf block, you're not going to run into issues with mobs spawning, period. So you could leave it all dark if you wanted. That said, I think the light looks nice, and, well, when it's dark with the dark oak, maybe it's just a tad too dark for my idea of what it looks good. For my tastes. That's the word I was looking for. Now let's go ahead and move on to putting in the stairway up at the front. I don't know. I've always liked stairways leading into the opening of a base rather than a gate or door. I don't know. Just, it's different. It's my style. So, stairway it is. Along the side, what we'll do is about partway up here, we'll put a fence all the way across. Then we'll fill up the gaps with leaves, be that underneath the stairway, and then on the side here, we'll slope it up. Now, as we begin throwing lots of leaves here, I'll put in a little bit of a side comment. If you are following along in survival, the best area and best way for you to get resources is to just see the way the stairway is pointing, just keep going that way, go to a different dark forest section, and just start dismantling it. Axe and shears, get the wood, get the leaves, and just cart it all back here. When we did a build similar to this on this exact seed in survival, I actually went across the forest just outside of render distance and just started taking it apart. Oh, there was a whole section of forest that was just gone. But yeah, that's where you can get materials. So for the stairs roof, I think what we'll do is we'll take it straight out without any sloping whatsoever. And then we'll use the same 2-thick pattern on the top. It'll give us a nice T shape. Let's go ahead and finish up the sides with the sloped leaves. Okay, so backing out, I think it looks good. Circling around, we're going to need to fill in a couple spots here to the natural leaves that decayed when I removed either the trunk supporting it or the leaves that were connecting it underneath. Alright, let's go ahead and get some starter furniture in here. We'll grab chest, crafting bench, furnace, smoker, hey, give me that furnace back, and a bed. Personally, I think the color purple looks nice with the color palette that we have here with the build, so we'll be using that. And we'll put that bed with the double chest here on our left side. Then we'll put the remaining 3 over on the right. Alright, let's get another circle overview of all the work we've done. And yeah, I think I like it. Now, is this a permanent house? Well, no. Same thing we said with the starter house over in the desert build. Starter houses for me are oftentimes just the first construction that I make en route to a greater construction. So in this case, it's just a bigger gatehouse that we'll be using later. And we'll be sticking a bridge off the other end, rear, that'll go across the lake to the trees over there where the rest of the build will begin. So with that said, best of vibes, have yourselves a great night, and I hope to see you for our next episode. Cheers.